different view on government. I believe that the government should not be enforcing anything on us that's not directed in the Constitution. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the government should elect if we should have health care or not. I believe that if I want to have health insurance, I should be able to make that choice. When our forefathers were creating this country and creating our Constitution, they did not elect for us to have any socialistic programs whatsoever. They didn't say that the government should help us out of situations. We have other problems in the world right now. We do not need to be enforced to have health care. And the reason why I'm giving this speech is because I think that government elected health care, or the term Obamacare, should not be enforced on its citizens. For one, we have an economic deficit right now, and the economic deficit is so much more important than having health care. We should be enforcing health care on the citizens that already are on minimum wage jobs and the middle class, and it's going to be taken from their paychecks, and then if they don't get health insurance before the mandate of next year in 2014, they're going to be charged a tax for that, which could be up to $900. And no one has that money. I personally don't have that money. Look, the term class that it's being made for, the lower class, they already have health clinics that they go to. I personally go to a health clinic. I don't need insurance that I'm being charged, out of a huge extreme for every, month. And it's also that it's not that they get to pick their insurance. They go into a health market, and in that market, they're turned by their age, and then they ask them other questions, and they say that their pre-existing conditions don't matter. But they do matter because it elects the level of insurance they're having, how high their premium will be. Other things that are important besides that are, with the economic deficit, we should also be making new jobs. We should have less socialistic programs. So I don't think another socialistic program that leans on the government when we're already in an economic deficit is going to help the government. We should be creating new revenue and having more jobs brought here and worry about those problems way before we worry about giving universal health care to people. The people who are low income already have ways of getting health care and getting prescriptions. There's already programs such as Medicaid and Medicare. So they don't need to get universal health care. Who is it really helping? When you actually learn about Obamacare or universal health care in America, it's not what we're electing, what we think it is. Everyone thinks that, oh, we're just getting health care and that health care is going to help us because we don't have health care. But health care that's universal is not what everyone thinks it is. It's going to be taxing you, and it's taxing people who already have government. We already have money taken out of our checks every other week for other programs. We don't need another thing that's being taken out of our checks when we're hardworking citizens and we're already not making enough to get by. Other problems that we have is we have warfare. We're spending too much money on that. We need to focus on that issue. Like I said, we have the economic deficit. We need to focus on making our dollar, the value it used to be. We need to focus on, like I said, building more jobs. Jobs are also important. According to the Gallup poll released Thursday, 40% of Americans approve of the Affordable Care Act, while 55% disapprove. That's a huge percentage change from the beginning of the year when people thought that that amount was approved. They approved it at like 95%, but when they actually learned about the Affordable Care Act, they no longer approved of it. Overall, the call to action I'm asking you to do is to learn more about this. Like I already told you about it, that it's going to affect people who already have plans, already have doctors. They're going to have to reroute their lives and get new doctors and do all that and file for new insurance. No one has time for that. They should be able to choose if they want to do that. And that's why I call to action and say that you guys should learn more about the healthcare initiative and not get universal health care or approve of that act. Okay? And do you have any other questions?
I have a question. Is it true that the IRS is going to take the money for the health care, but how are they going to take money if a lot of people don't get refunds?
That's the problem. People do fraudulent acts on the government. They say that they have babysitting services, or they say they do something. They get huge tax returns when they're not profiting in any revenue, and that's the problem with this. It's just another socialistic thing that people are taking from the government. They're not giving anything into the government. How is that fixing our economic deficit? It's not doing anything but not creating revenue. And the IRS, the IRS is going to take something that you're not giving. Well, how is that going to help?
If they don't have any, if they're not being taxed, then they can't take that money from them.
Well, Obama claims that the taxes that they're already doing for the Affordable Care Act have already gone into effect, and everyone's already profiting, from that, and they're getting on it. But that's not true. There's nothing that we're getting from it or proffering into society by having a CARE Act that forces us to have health insurance.
AJ? You said you had good questions.
I have a question. So you said that Americans don't want or need the Affordable Care Act, but the Affordable Care Act was voted in by elected representatives who were voted for by the people. So they ran on a campaign for the Affordable Care Act, they won, and it passed. So now we have the Affordable Care Act. And
But aren't those people the same people who are disapproving of it now because they did not learn of what it was? The people who vote every election, they don't always know the people they're voting for. And the people that they voted for were Democratic. The people who are trying to repeal that act are Republicans. And it's also a huge majority that didn't know about the CARE Act. They're learning from different senators about that CARE Act, and that's why they're disapproving of it now, because they know actual limitations it's going to have on their care plans and how they're going to uproot their life and have to go to new doctors, have to go into the health market and figure out about what they're going to be eligible for. And if you're older, do you want to go into a health market with a 22-year-old woman who's thin and fit? Are you going to get the same health insurance as that woman? Are they going to deem you approvable as same as that woman? No, you're not. Is it fair for those people? No, it's not. Does anybody else have a question?
No.
Okay.
Very good.